How's Mike?
I think we beat that horse to death.
How's Hyde adjusting to safety?
I think he did a good job. He really did a good job, and we've had some good competition at corner, which allowed us to do it, and it kind of breeded more competition at corner. And I'm not sure what we're going to do. We've got a lot of time to think about it. And I think one thing about this team, it's a little bit like probably the 08 team or the 03 or 01 teams. There are going to be a lot of moving parts in August and probably a lot of moving parts in September too. You go back to 08. We started that season with Anger and Stanzi on the bench. They both emerged as good players, and I could see something like that happening with this group too. So I think we'll have a lot of moving parts August, September, and this has given us a good exposure to look at the combinations back there, something we haven't been able to do yet. And we'll see what happens in August. But I think we have some options available, and it looks, at least early in the game, it looks like we got some healthy options, which is nice too. So I hope we have that at every position. We'll see how that goes.
Cavante, how does he fit in a wide receiver? What does he
bring? He's in the mix right now, and he's done some real good things this spring, and then also showing his youth. And Don Shumpert the same way. He's shown his youth at times, and he's got to catch a ball a little bit more consistently. But if there's a good thing about a good player being out, a player like Marvin being out, it really has opened the door for those guys to get a lot of work in a lot of different situations, kind of like the young corners too. And so there's a positive in every negative, I guess, and that's the one good thing, at least with Marvin being out, it's giving those guys a chance to get more work. So, but that's one of the positions I think that's going to be probably continually evolving here as we go through August and September. And I just hope at the end of September we feel pretty good about 3-4 guys at that position. But I think Cavante is certainly in the mix right now, and hopefully he'll continue to improve.
What do you need out of Keenan? What do you need out of him?
He needs to play like a starter. Real succinctly. That's kind of what he needs to do, and it's his time. He's been here 2 years. He's certainly more than capable, and I think he's willing and has done some real good things in practice. And now the next step for him is to play with consistency and help fill the void, because we've got Marvin who we feel good about, and certainly we need Keenan to be one of those guys and be a leader as well, and then we need the other guys to come along, and I think they will. We're just not there yet, that's for sure, but I think there's every reason to think that he'll do really well the next 2 years.
Is it more than catching the ball with him, Coach?
I don't think so. Playing receiver. There's a lot that goes into it. Catching the ball's the end game for those guys when it's that time. But it's blocking and it's doing everything. But I have no reason to think that he won't. It's his time to go. And it's kind of like anything. When a guy hits the field, that's what they work for. That's what they came here for. And he's worked hard. So we expect him to step in there and do a good job. I can't see any reason why he wouldn't.
Does Deep Sheriff at guard? He seems to be kind of another one in the long line of young players stepping in.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. He's gotten a lot of good work this spring. He did a good job last fall, and right now of the five, he's fifth. As far as just being, he's his tempo and whatever. He looks like a younger guy, so he's not reacting as quickly to things as you might like, but he's got good potential. He's very coachable, works hard, and. I think these 15 days will really help him. I expect him to be a much better player in August. And he should be. He'll work hard, and he should be. But we're going to need him to take another step for sure. And a couple more guys in that group do the same thing.
Is it a sign of A.J. Derby's progress that he's already at the point where he might be pushing Wanky for that number 2 spot?
Yeah, I think it's neck and neck right now. And, A.J.'s, Ken would tell you, a quick study. He's been really pretty adept at picking things up really early from when he got here back last spring. So, he gives himself a chance. He's a good athlete, certainly, and his throwing's improved. And, he just needs a lot of work, too, in situations. And that's something you can't do sitting in a meeting room. You got to be out there in the field doing it. And so these practices are really valuable for everybody, but especially some guys that haven't played like that.
Is there anything that he can do that would put to rest the A.J. Derby to tight end, A.J. Derby to linebacker, A.J. Derby to
probably start
coach?
That's probably probably start.
Start, yeah.
Is that head coach or assistant coach?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, no, probably start. I think that's till then we'll probably be speculating and all that kind of stuff. But we see him as a quarterback. That's what he sees himself as, and we're on board with that 100%. And it's not like we got an 8 deep at quarterback. I mean, you guys saw we got 3 guys out there right now, and the way we protected during the spring at times, we may need 8 quarterbacks. And I've reminded not just the line, but the other guys are supposed to be blocking. I'm not sure we could get through September the way we protected sometimes this spring. So everybody better get a little bit more in tune to our pickups.
You talked a little bit earlier this spring about him maybe playing some special teams. In what way or shape or form?
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't had those discussions, but you just look at him. He's going back to your question. He is a good athlete that I think could play other positions certainly. So, that might be a decision we'll have to make or discuss it. We'll have to discuss it for sure. Do you have a guy like him? Like last year, I think he could have been a good special teams player for us, and he's redshirting. That was a wise thing to do. But next year it might be a discussion. But, now if he is the number 2 guy, do you run that risk? All those things you've got to talk about. We'll see.
Have you been able to? I know that you probably were pretty anxious or eager to get at special teams. After last year, I'm sure you wanted to get under that hood. Does spring allow you to do that?
Yes and no. We haven't worried too much about our specialists per se, like
right.
Return guys, kick or punt. But we've put a little extra time on our kickoff coverage team, and knowing that the guys that are out there practicing. First of all, how many guys are there? Got a lot of guys hurt. But we just kind of wanted to emphasize it, and we've shown some clips and going back and reviewed and tried to learn, and we'll continue it right through August because I'll just say this: we can't play special teams next year like we did last year and expect to be playing in a bowl game or having a good year. It just won't work. So that's something everybody on our team needs to understand, and we'll continue to emphasize it. And it's going to be a great opportunity for younger guys coming in too.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you envision another 6, 7, 8 freshmen in there?
We'll do whatever we have to do. I know this. We got to cover kicks better than we did last year. Consistently. We didn't. At times we were really good. Yeah, I mean it's pretty interesting. If you look at our wins, we played pretty good on special teams.
Yep.
And you look at our losses, they did nothing to help us in general. So, and it's been that way for 12 years for us. I mean, it's just we're not going to win if we don't play better. So hopefully we understand that.
How much of what you see in the spring do you use as kind of a blueprint for maybe where you don't need true freshmen when it comes to August?
Yeah, we'll first thing we'll do this. We'll go back and review our personnel, from today, but more over 15 practices and where we think we are, and so we'll have some ideas maybe of where there might be opportunities, and but really it's in the hands of the guys coming in when they come in August. It's what they do and how they react, and some guys really just kind of come in and look like they belong right away, and other guys don't look like they belong. But it's a 4 to 5 year race for all of them. It just depends how they do. But I'm sure there's going to be some opportunity, and it might be a first year guy, or it might be a guy like Steve Staggs, jumping back to receiver who steps in there and as he seemed to get open this spring and seemed to catch the ball. That's all that counts to receiver, as far as that part of it. And he's trying to block and doing things right that way. So. We'll keep an open mind, and basically anybody can help our football team. When September comes around, we're gonna, we'll put them out there if they're interested. They may not be interested, but we'll give them that option.
Do you see surprises like that usually in August, like Clint Solomon?
I think so. Yeah,
Thanks,
sure.
Kirk.
I think so. Okay, Ryan. Yeah, I think so. It's we're open to. You got to get the best guys out there. That's our job. And so it's a good opportunity for anybody coming in.